And welcome to the show. We feature a teacher, spotlight a student, or highlight a person in the industry. Today we're featuring Ms. Jayne O'Neill, the History Club advisor, and a teacher who traveled to Pearl Harbor along with her student, who is also joining us here today, Ashley Diaz-Briones. I am your host, Norma Echeverria, and welcome to Tech Talk. Ms. O'Neill, let's start with you. Tell us a bit about how you learned about this amazing opportunity to travel to Pearl Harbor, Hawaii.
So it really started with Ms. Scarpa, who's a teacher at the school here at Tech, and she had done it with a student the year before. So she encouraged us to apply. We really didn't think we were going to get it, thinking only 16 teams across the nation get chosen, and why would they choose the same school in the same state again? But by luck and the grace of God, we got it. And we were told, when was it, December?
December, yeah.
December, right before the holidays or soon thereafter, that we got it.
How did you decide Ashley would travel with you?
So I advertised it as part of my club. A couple of students had applied. We interviewed, and Ashley by far was one of the greater standouts. And we, basically firmed it up and said, she's going.
What was your overall experience being there? How did you visit, and what did you get to learn?
You could take that, Ash.
I mean, it was a great experience. We visited the UCS Missouri. We got to stay a night there, which was really fun. We visited the Pearl Harbor National Park, which was really interesting. We got to see a lot of different memorials, and we had amazing guides that really taught us all about the history about Pearl Harbor and World War II.
Nice.
Basically, the entire institute is research about a fallen soldier who died in the Pacific during World War II. So ours was Kenneth Stanley Zimmer,
from New Jersey.
He was from New Jersey, from Patterson, actually.
Oh, wow, the same town I'm from.
Exactly. And we did about 6 months worth of research.
Yeah, about 6 months, before we actually got to Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah. And once we got through that process, we then went to the National Museum, National Cemetery, I should say, otherwise known as the Punch Bowl.
Yeah.
And we were the first to ever visit him there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was only child, and his parents passed away, and obviously, whole family. Couldn't find any family, actually. Yeah. And so it was kind of nice that he had somebody there honoring him.
Especially from Jersey, from his home state.
Absolutely.
Okay, Ms. O'Neill, why is it important students and the coming generations go and learn about these world-changing events?
It creates a sense of belonging to what happened in the past, to what's going on now. You kind of understand what's happening in the world today, get a greater understanding. And we're able to honor these individuals. We call them silent heroes, and we give them a voice, and we honor their bravery and their sacrifice that they made to this country.
Okay. And Ashley, why do you think it's important students continue to go and learn about the importance of Pearl Harbor?
I mean, I think we're so far removed, from Pearl Harbor, right? We often think about it as just something that happened in history, but real people, Americans and countless other people, specifically in the Pacific, were harmed by such an event, and we're kind of losing the generation that was able to remember it, right? The people that had family members directly affected by it. So being able to remember it and then also hear their stories directly is just so important, so that we keep the memory alive and make sure that their sacrifices and all of their work is not forgotten.
No. What stood out the most about being there for you?
Well, when we went to go visit the Japanese Heritage Center, speaking of generations that I actually remember, we met a woman that was about, I think 10 years old. Yeah, 10 years old when Pearl Harbor happened. And she still works to this day at the Heritage Museum, working to teach children, about Pearl Harbor, about how it was like for Japanese Americans who were sort of isolated after the events of Pearl Harbor and being blamed for it.
Yeah.
So hearing her perspective was just so amazing because she was able to live through it.
Why is it important that students and the coming generations go and learn about these world-changing events?
I mean, kind of, like what we said previously, but it's just so important because, a lot of these events kind of shaped the America that we are today. It's because of Pearl Harbor that America even entered the war. So understanding American history, but then understanding like the sacrifices of Americans before us. And you know, it kind of seems far removed, you know, Hawaii, right? But then you learn that people like Kenneth Stanley Zimmer, you know, who were from Patterson, were involved, and you know, he ended up becoming part of the U.S. Army due to Pearl Harbor. It's very interesting, and you kind of want people to remember that.
It's interesting, when we started the research process, we were given a list of individuals that we could potentially research from New Jersey, and it was countless names that it would take decades to kind of cover and give the honor and the privilege of what we did, giving them a voice. It was incredible.
So there's like still so much work to be done, which is like why it's important for the other generations, you know, future generations to learn about it.
Yeah.
And my final question would be, is there something you'd like to do again, or would you like to visit a different historical site?
I mean, continuing the work, you know, with our hero, I mean, we kind of continued our work. We have a memorial of him that we put in the Patterson Museum, actually, just a couple months ago.
Right.
So our work is continued, you know, we're still working National History Day, and, you know, the research is important. I don't know about visiting any other national sites.
I think it's one of those things that when opportunities present themselves, we can take what we learned in this experience and kind of translate it and keep sending that message across, you know, to future generations.
Well, I think that comes in handy, especially now that we have like technology that's
Absolutely.
just available everywhere. I think it's better experience for students, or like even kids in general, to just go out and actually see it.
Yeah.
The organization itself, which is Sacrifice for Freedom, World War II Institute in the Pacific, they created a website specifically for silent heroes that have already been researched and ultimately memorialized there. So it's worth mentioning that, and you know, making sure that as this project continues, their voice gets heard.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for tuning to this week's Tech Talk, and another special thank you to Miss O'Neill and Ashley for taking the time to come speak with us. And we actually have a special surprise for you. We have this photo from your trip.
That's so cute. I love it.
You guys can show the camera if you want.
Oh, how exciting.
This is a picture of all the students that went. Oh, that one?
Which one? Yeah, there you go.
That's me in the middle. Yeah, this is our last day of the trip, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a great group.
Did you learn any phrases?
No, but it's great because I'm still friends with a lot of the people that are here, and we still talk to each other.
Nice.
So it's kind of great, and they all kind of do their own thing in their communities to keep up the silent hero work. So
It was a special bond that was created with everybody there. It truly was.
Okay,
This
well,
is so
from
cute.
Studio D108A, I've been your host, Norma Echeverria, and we'll see you for the next one. That was